Let's hear it from Ram Charan Teja. Is the mic working?
I don't know what time is it. We've been traveling since different timelines, time periods. Good afternoon or good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, right? Good afternoon, everyone. A lot of my family members have attended the Expo last couple of months. I was a little jealous when they keep telling me about the Expo. But thanks to RRR and Mr. Rajamouli Garu and Gulshan ji, thank you so much. And Apurva ji, thank you so much for having us here. It's a real honor. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Working for a movie like RRR is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And at the same time, coming to an expo, Dubai Expo, and being part of India's conclave or India's Expo and Dubai Expo is a once-in-a-lifetime. Thank you for having us. And let's continue the show.
Of course. Thank you. And we have Apurva Chandra ji here, Secretary of Ministry of Broadcasting. Can I have you here, sir? Ministry of Information Broadcasting Secretary, Mr. Apurva Chandra.
Rajamouli ji, Junior NTR, and Ram Charan ji. First of all, I would like to thank you for coming to this expo and showcasing the largest, the biggest budget and the most prominent film to come out of India for a long, long time. And I would like to also thank you for the Bahubali series which you made and made us all proud and made us all enjoy for the Bahubali series. Also, I would like to thank you for making this film on two freedom fighters in the 75th year of independence. And as I understand, these two were real freedom fighters and whose story you have fictionalized. So this again is a success of our country, that these are sort of stories which we also don't know, and you are bringing it out now in the 75th year of independence. Not only the world, but we also will get to know these sort of stories, and I must compliment you for that. Also, now with the coming in of OTT, I would like to confess that I myself was unaware of films made in the South. But it is only now that I have started seeing films made in the South. Just last month, because in this National Film Awards, we gave the Best Actor Film Award to Dhanush. So I saw his film Asuran. And I could see it because it was available on Amazon Prime and dubbed in Hindi. So now we also as Indians, we are getting introduced to our own films. The world is getting introduced to our films. And again, I am told that you are making it originally into 2 languages, dubbing it into 4 or 5 languages, then subtitling into various languages, showcasing it globally, which again takes our story throughout the world. When the Koreans can do it, when the Hollywood can do it, then we also need to do it. And I must compliment. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And of course, this is the place where we meet the world's largest media entertainment industry, the Indian media entertainment industry. And of course, thanks a lot, sir, for making it possible as well. So, we'll start with the tete-a-tete and then we'll move into the questions. Sir, with your permission. Sitting. First of all, sir, everyone's mind has one question. After Bahubali, the biggest movie ever, you go straight into RRR. And 2 characters, 2 roaring lions, as I may say, although he was the one who was roaring on screen. So, why after Bahubali, why RRR?
I don't consciously make a decision based on my previous films. The previous films are done. Bahubali is done. I leave it and I next search for a story that compels me to make it. And a multi-starrer, a true multi-starrer, where we see 2 big heroes on the screen has been an exciting thought for me for a long time. And after Bahubali happened, one day it suddenly struck me that if I can bring these 2 stars, 2 friends, if I can bring them onto the screen, that would be a joy for the audience to watch. And I have known them for a long time, and they have a big brotherly affection towards me, and I know they would they would say yes once I propose it to them. So that's how it happened. Not based on my previous films, just the excitement of bringing these two superstars together onto the
To
screen.
superstars, to fan rivalry. I mean, this is the biggest. Two families who have had the 35 years of fan rivalry has been happening between your families.
We didn't count.
But think about bringing both of you together. This is also setting another standard in the Indian film industry. Like two big powerhouses coming together, as you said. So I heard that you didn't even want to listen to the script anymore. It was just Rajamouli. That's it. So that's how you actually selected the movie, was
Absolutely. And I can, on this point, I can speak for both of us, Tarak and me. Yes, of course. We don't hear the script.
it? See,
It's the love and the adoration,
and Magadira.
how we look up to Mr. Rajamouli.
Absolutely.
That's the least we can do for him.
Absolutely. And of course, for you, it's even like when your first, not your first movie, your second movie, but his first movie was with you. The first
He was,
turning point.
Yeah, so I'm the senior here. So yeah, it was his first movie, and it was my second. So yeah, from there to Triple R. I mean, as a storyteller, from being a novice to being the best, the biggest director of the Indian film industry. I mean, wow, it's great to have been a part of the stories he told. So it's wonderful to see him like this.
Absolutely. Sir, if you say about Alluri and Komaram, these are two real characters which you have fictionalized. Right. We have, I mean, as you said in all the interviews that you've done, this is an era that nobody knows about. This is an era where these two characters went missing. So you have fictionalized in a way in which they have met. They might have a rivalry, a friendship. That's for the movie goers to watch. But how did you come up with that kind of a thought? What struck you?
It suddenly struck me. I was inspired by Motorcycle Diaries, the story of a journal of a
Shekhar,
young man. Shay, we don't know, it can be anyone.
Yeah.
At the flag end of the film, they say it is actually Che Guevara. No? And it is a fictionalized story. It is not a real life account. And as I was looking at the timelines of Allur Sita Rama Raju and Komaram Bhim, there were so many coincidences. They were born around the same time, about 2-3 years apart. And around their 20s, they left their houses. We have some kind of historical references, what happened when they were in their respective places.
Sure.
But after they left their places, we don't know what happened to them. And they came back after 3 or 4 years. And once they came back, they started their movement against the British, against the oppressors, in the same modus operandi. Okay. No, it was so many coincidences, and we don't have any account of those 4 missing years. So anything could have happened. So I thought that was a fantastic premise for me as a storyteller to visualize something that never happened, but the spirit of the freedom fighters remains the same. The characterizations, the way they were brought up. Komaram Bhim was a tribal leader. Allur Sita Rama Raju was a well-read man who worked for the welfare of tribals, for the liberty of tribals. So the characterization remains the same. The spirit, the want for liberty remains the same, but the entire story is completely fictionalized.
Absolutely. So I have enough and more questions in my kitty because, I'm so excited to be watching RRR on 27th. So we are all waiting. 25th. Yeah, 25th. 25th, 26th, 27th, all these days. So let's give the mic to the press. You have enough and more questions. Please, if you could introduce yourself and can I have a mic sent over? Yeah. Whoever, please. Raise your hands and I can send the mic to you, please. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, this is Radhika Sharma from the Press Trust of India. This question is for Rajamouli, sir. Both of you can also join in later. Sir, would you rather prefer that the audience watches your films with subtitles or in the dubbed versions?
For me, whether it is subtitling or whether it's a language, it's just a medium of communication. I would rather want my audience to just get the story through the visuals. That is what I would prefer as a filmmaker. One small incident that happened during one of my films, Makhi, Iga, when I was making that, my cousin came from US and he brought a white man along with him. So they came to my office and I was showing them some parts of Iga, and my brother was trying to explain to him what was happening in the dialogue, and the white man said, "You just shut up. I can understand what's happening." So see, that's what I want. I want the audience to get everything through the visuals and the way the actors are performing and the way the background score is happening. Dialogues and subtitles are just mediums of communication. That's it. Those are not important for me.
Wonderful. Yes, sir.
గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ రాజమౌళి. శ్రీకాంత్ ఫ్రమ్ మాగల్ఫ్ తెలుగు న్యూస్. ఈ మధ్య భారీ ఎత్తున భారీ బడ్జెట్తో సినిమాలు తీస్తున్నారు. ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్పుట్ కోసమే మీరు భారీ బడ్జెట్ ఎంచుకుంటున్నారా?
Did the film fit into the budget is the question for everyone. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can understand.
See, we don't select a high budget movie. You can't select a movie like that. We select a story, and the premise of the story, the requirement of the story tells us how much budget that is required to make the movie. So if it's a big premise, if it has a big setups, if it has big action sequences, visual effects that needs to tell the story, obviously the budget is going to be big. So we can't go and select, okay, let's make a big budget movie. It doesn't happen like that.
So even being said that, the interval sequence, from what I've gathered, 65 days, 65 nights actually, and every day, correct me if I'm wrong, every day used to cost 75 lakhs.
Initially, then then I started tightening the screws a little bit, and we started bringing down. I need to look after my producer too.
Yes, please.
வணக்கம் சார். நான் வந்து ரேடியோ கில்லி 106.5 எஃப்எம்ல இருந்து ஆர்ஜே கிருஷ். மிகப்பெரிய லெஜெண்ட்ஸ் முன்னாடி ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்குறது கொஞ்சம் தயக்கமாக இருந்தாலும் இந்த கேள்வி கேட்டே ஆகணும். நான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு கேள்வி வந்து நம்ம ஹீரோஸ் கிட்ட தான். சார், இந்த படத்தில் அந்த அந்த ட்ரெய்லர் பார்க்கும்போது அந்த வாட்டருக்கு அடியில் ஓடுற ஒரு சீன் பார்த்தோம், மிரண்டு போயிட்டோம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரியான சீன்ஸ் நிறைய இருக்கும் படத்தில் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். ஸோ வை வி கமிட்டட் திஸ் மூவி அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி மூவிக்கு இனிமேல் மட்டும் கமிட்டட் ஆகக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு ஏதாவது ஒரு சந்தர்ப்பம் வந்துச்சா உங்களுக்கு நடிக்கும்போது?
Just to explain the question.
So it's basically...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so your question comes down to, did you ever think that you might as well weren't a part of this project? Right? Is that the question?
Was there a point in which you thought
where we thought that
I should have gotten out of this?
Yeah, I should have gotten out of this. Well, see, when you work with a director called Rajamouli, you're pretty committed in your head. You know it's going to take time. Well, it's what he is, and that's how it takes time to deliver Bahubali, right? It took its time, and again, to deliver RRR, it takes its time. 65 nights for one interval sequence, which is probably about 20 to 25 minutes. 20-25 minutes, you're shooting that for 65 nights. So that's the kind of commitment an actor needs to have when you're working with a director called Rajamouli, like Rajamouli. So there was never a point where we thought, you know what, I think we did a mistake by committing to this. But no, the end goal where we wanted to go was very clear in our heads, because we are going to be a part of something phenomenal called RRR at the end of the day. And somewhere, a lot of them will remember us because we've started this lost glory of Indian cinema of having 2 stars, making a multi-starrer. So that was our, very clear in our heads. We knew where we were going. We knew what we got into. It was pretty clear.
Thank you so much, sir. அடுத்து ராஜமௌலி சார், ஸ்ட்ரைட்டாக தமிழில் இந்த மாதிரியான பிரம்மாண்டமான சில படங்கள் நீங்கள் எப்போ கொடுக்க போகிறீங்க?
நிறைய வாட்டு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேங்க. எனக்கு வந்து அப்படியே நான் பிரிக்கணும்னு இல்லை,
தேவையில்லை.
தமிழ், தெலுங்கு, ஹிந்தி, மலையாளம் அப்படின்னு பிரிக்கக்கூடாது. மொழி வந்து சும்மா நம்ம we need the language to tell our ideas to the people, but it is the story that should connect. I dream of a day when we have one big film industry, Indian film industry. Tamil, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, everything are just languages. We should be the Indian film industry. That's what I want. That's what I'm striving for.
Hello.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon. This is Akanksha from Film Fair Middle East. A big congratulations to the trailer is looking amazing, and we can't wait for the movie. The one thing was that when Bahubali came, it took the nation by storm, because suddenly Pan India, you made Pan India the buzzword. So with RRR coming, you have two superstars with you. Is there more pressure for the superstars as well, and for you two to kind of now reach out to a much wider audience? And did that play on your mind, that the cinematic sensibilities of the North audience versus the South audience, is it different, or how was it for you?
Sensibilities will be different between not just between South and North. The sensibilities between Tamil and Telugu will be different. In Telugu, the sensibilities between Telangana and Andhra will be different. In Andhra, the sensibilities between East Godavari district and West Godavari districts will be different. The sensibilities keep changing, just like the tastes of the food that we eat keep changing from area to area. But the emotions of a human being never change. They are the same across the world. So as long as my story is based on the basic human emotions that I believe will connect to everyone, I don't worry about how the North Indians are going to look at it, how the South Indians are going to look at it. I don't worry about that. I just worry about telling my story in the best possible emotional manner possible.
Amazing. What about for Ram Charan and NTR Jr.?
I mean, absolutely. Thanks to the previous film he's done, Bahubali, he's erased a lot of the boundaries between the 29 states or 26 states we have. 30 states we have. So he's erased the boundaries between all the states, and he's made it possible. The journey has started with Bahubali. Yes, it's still a question whether we are one industry or we are how many other languages we speak in India. We are that many industries. But today I feel he started a journey, not only with RRR and Bahubali, he's also started an initiative himself, which I feel nobody in India, no director in India has started this thought in any of the press, or any of our minds, or any of the press's minds, to say, please call us an Indian film industry. Wow. And it is started with RRR. I'm very proud.
Absolutely. And in Dubai, we are even luckier. They have done the movie in Dolby Vision. And here, we have theatres equipped for that. Thanks to Mr. Ahmed Gulshan here as well. We have great theatres here. I don't think in India, we don't have a Dolby Vision theatre yet, right?
No, we don't. I think we're going to come back to India, come back to Dubai.
Oh, okay.
To watch.
See, we have them here to watch.
Good evening, sir.
Could we have your opinion as well on this?
About the same question.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Is the mic working? Can I?
see, when you have a director like Rajamouli, Ajay, I always say this. You just need to do your job as an actor. Your job is not sitting down here and concentrating on how the market is expanding in India, or what's happening in different states or different languages, or how the sensibilities of the audiences are, because he's the storyteller. He decides that. As an actor, I believe in one thing. As Rajamouli said, sensibilities might change, but the emotion always remains the same. So it's just go tap the emotions. I mean, like, when you watch a movie like Avengers, the Endgame, when you have Iron Man dying, you don't need to have a language there. You just know. You already have, you have tears in your eyes. Your eyes are filled with tears. Call it Dubai, call it USA, call it back in India, call it in a, name even the smallest remote village in India. You go show him that scene, he will cry. It's how the story was told by the storyteller and how the actor delivered it. So we just need to do our job right. That's all.
Thank you, Akansha. Sure.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్ ఐఎమ్ శ్యామ్ ఫ్రమ్ రేడియో గిల్లీ. మీతో తెలుగులో ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడటానికి చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది. అండ్ వీ నో ద గ్రేట్ RRR మిస్టర్ రామ్ చరణ్, రాజమౌళి గారు అండ్ రామారావు గారు. ఐ హ్యావ్ 2 క్వశ్చన్స్ సార్. వన్ ఇస్ మీ ఇద్దరికి ఒకే క్వశ్చన్. జస్ట్ నో రాజమౌళి గారు చెప్పారు సేమ్ ఆన్ March 14th ఫస్ట్ మీ ప్రెస్ మీట్లో చెప్పిన అదే స్టోరీ హౌ ద ఫిక్షన్ ఇస్ హ్యాపెండ్ అని. సో దీస్ 3 years హౌ డిఫికల్ట్ టు మెయింటైన్ యువర్ ఫిజిక్ అండ్ 3 hour స్టోరీని మేము ఎంటర్టైన్ చేయడానికి మీరు 3 years కష్టపడ్డారు. హౌ డిఫికల్ట్?
అంటే మనందరికీ తెలిసిందే, రాజమౌళి గారు ఫస్ట్ ప్రెస్ మీట్లో చెప్పారు, it will be one of the fastest movies he's going to make, and he really meant it ఆ రోజు అది చెప్పినప్పుడు. But of course, along with everybody, we all went through the corona, and అందరం we all had a pause. మనందరం ఒక పాజ్ బటన్ నొక్కాం. అది కేవలం ఆర్ఆర్ఆర్ఏ పాజ్ బటన్ నొక్కలేదు. సో అందరం పాజ్ బటన్ నొక్కాం. సో ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us put a pause button. So that was the only delay. But we've never exceeded in the number of days we initially thought, or Rajamouli garu thought we should work. We never had extra schedules happening. RRR, the day one press release that happened in Hyderabad, what Rajamouli garu said, it'll be one of the fastest films I will make. It was actually intended, and it had happened. But of course, it's only the corona. But keeping that aside, how did we survive? How all of you survived corona, we also survived. As simple as that. But keeping our interest, keeping us alive, of course, the man himself, we were interacting, me and Tarak were interacting with him on a weekly basis, sometimes monthly basis. Of course, we want to keep a connect with our director and keep that enthusiasm and that spark alive. Because all of us suddenly felt unemployed. Unemployed for 2 years.
Yeah.
But yes, all of us knew the end result of RRR. Even if I didn't speak to him, weekly basis or monthly basis, my zeal, my thirst to see the end result would have still been alive, because I know when I started RRR, with what conviction I started RRR.
రాజమౌళి గారు, మీకు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ సార్. అంటే విత్ మగధీర, బాహుబలి, ఆర్ఆర్ఆర్, నౌ ఇట్స్ అ పాన్ ఇండియా మూవీ, బిగ్గెస్ట్ లెవెల్లో చేస్తున్నాం. మీ లాస్ట్ మూవీ అరౌండ్ 2017లో రిలీజ్ అయింది, బాహుబలి 2, అండ్ నౌ వీఆర్ ఇన్ 2022 ఆర్ఆర్ఆర్ రిలీజ్ కాబోతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ సినిమా హౌ క్విక్లీ వీ కెన్ సీ, అండ్ వీఆర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టింగ్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ మూవీ. మీరు తెలుగు సినిమాని ఇండియన్ లెవెల్ అంటే నేషనల్ మూవీస్ అలా అందరూ గుర్తిస్తున్నారు. సో నెక్స్ట్ మూవీ గురించి
అప్పుడే నెక్స్ట్ మూవీ వరకు ఎందుకండి, అండ్ గాడ్ విల్లింగ్, అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఫ్యాంటాస్టిక్ distributors like Mr. Golchin, RRR itself will become an international movie.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Hello, this is Manjusha from Gulf News in Dubai. Lovely to see you guys here, and all the best for the film. I just want to know, this is a tale of two rebels, right? At the end of the day, can you walk me through your rebellious phase in life, and was it for a worthy cause? I hope it was not for some woman, but yeah, go for it. Try to make something up if you can, but talk about your rebellious phase.
Mike.
So I think it's better Charan answers his rebellious journey first,
and he was rebelling against India's biggest superstar, Chiranjeevi garu.
No, actually, Tarak, lot of rebels we have, but they have no cause, but he's a rebel with a cause. That's why I love him. And he's a rebel which is seen. I'm a rebel which is not seen, unseen, whatever you say. So that's why we complement each other. But
you could say he's the source,
no.
and I'm the end to
That's
it.
not. That's
So
not,
about being rebellious.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
so
what
he's the source.
That's not what I meant.
Only thing yours is seen and his is not seen is what it is.
Yeah, because he's the starter.
He
He
instigates it.
ignites it.
I'm glad he lights the fire, of course. But on a more serious note, what are the changes that you saw in director Rajamouli, and how did you, even as a director, what are the changes you detected in your actors? Because you all started, it's almost like he gave you your first break, really, put you on the map.
No, actually, he gave me the first break.
No, yeah.
Yes, that's
Or
what
did
I
you?
said.
Oh yeah, okay,
yes,
fine.
The
great.
actors,
yeah, he
yes.
actually did. I mean, see, nothing has changed in him, but he's become hungrier. He's thirstier. He's in this mode of, seriously, thanks to Rajamouli today that we have erased the imaginary boundaries of regional film, and we've become one big film industry. I mean, we're not here endorsing RRR as a Telugu film, but we're endorsing RRR as an Indian film, and that's happened only because of him. It was his vision of showing the world what Bahubali is. And right now he's in this mode where he's in this complete beast mode. He wants to tell more and more bigger, better stories. All his ideas, he wants to put it in front of this world. And he's hungrier. But nothing, his perfectionism is still the same. That will never change. He will never settle down for 99.9. He needs that 100. And he will beg, bite, kill us if he needs to get that 100%. And that's what we like in him as a filmmaker. And that's what I think has put him here. I mean, put him where he is today.
I mean, my phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, we both, Tarak and me, have come from film industry and film family. But when I did my second film with Rajamouli Garu, Magadira, though I did come from a film family, my father had brought me up in such a way, nothing about the industry or the films or the magazines or the awards or any of the pictures even the fan gave would ever come into my house. It all stays in the office. So there was no traces of acting or film or anything. He's never told me when I was starting my first film how to be, how to act, nothing. Even after my first movie, I asked my dad, what do I do better to be a better actor? Trust me, he literally didn't say anything. He really wanted me to have my own journey. That was the moment when I started my first journey with Mr. Rajamouli. Why repeatedly I keep saying he's my headmaster, he's like a dean in the college. I literally mean it. I've learned so much in my first movie with him. He is a director, he is a master storyteller. At the same time, he is somewhere my mentor, my guru. Somebody, I don't know how my dad would feel, but in a way, he has taught me in today's time when I've realized that what is cinema and everything, he's taught me more than my dad.
నమస్కారం నమస్కారం చంద్ర గారు. ఇక్కడ నా హైట్ చాలా బాగుంది, సో కనిపించను, వినిపిస్తాను. సో ఎస్ఎస్ఆర్ సార్. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'll come back to you. The difference between them, how they changed, obviously it's been years since I worked with them. Obviously the maturity levels have increased. The naughtiness have come down a little bit.
Really?
But otherwise they are the same. I always say Tarak is like he's a supercomputer. He's like a sponge who absorbs everything, each and everything. I mean, none of us might remember what is there in this hall after we step out. But if you ask him, he will tell you what is the color of the carpet, what is the lighting pattern here, what water brand of water did we have. He remembers everything. I don't know why he puts everything, but he grabs each and everything. And he doesn't do it consciously. That also reflects in the way he approaches a character. The moment I start narrating a story to him, his characterization to him, I see his brain is already in the functioning of what he needs to do on the day of the shoot. And we are so close and I understand him so much. He understands me so much that he actually knows how I'm going to shoot the particular scene or shot. And I also know how he's going to act, where he's going to pause, where he's going to turn his head. I know everything about him. He knows everything about me. So it is a complete joy for me when I place my camera and sit in front of the monitor and see him perform the exact way that I envisioned in my mind. So that's the kind of rapport that I have with him. With Charan, it is completely different. I have been telling this many times. the time when I saw, okay, the feedback is too
Feedback.
much. Can you
Can
reduce
just
it a little
reduce
bit?
the level a little bit?
Yeah. When I saw Rangasthalam, I was completely blown away. Very frankly, after doing Magdira with him, my biggest film, his biggest film, I never imagined Charan could be such a phenomenal actor. I didn't believe that. And I was completely blown away. And I was wondering how he was doing that. I didn't know that Charan. I didn't know the Charan of Rangasthalam when I did Magdira. So I was wondering how he did it. And when he came onto the sets of RRR, it was quite a revelation for me because I never seen any actor do that. I heard about it, but I have never seen. He comes to the set as a completely white blank canvas and tells the director, "You paint whatever you want on me." And it is very easy to say that. Just unclutter your mind. But it is impossible task. I cannot do that. And I learned that from him. I mean, I didn't learn, but I saw that there is a person in front of my eyes who can do that. And he surprised me. He surprised me many times that if I imagined that this is what I need from my actor, he surpassed it. He surprised me many times. Tarak can't surprise me. I know everything about him. But Charan surprised me sometimes. Sometimes it was not what I wanted and I had to bring him to that what I wanted level. But sometimes he surprised me, gave me more than what I want. That's the difference between both of them.
On to your question, please.
ఓకే సో చరి గారు నమస్కారం, వెల్కమ్ టు యూఏఈ. రాజమౌళి సార్ నమస్కారం, వెల్కమ్ టు యూఏఈ. అండ్ తారక్ గారు వెల్కమ్ టు యూఏఈ. చాలా ప్రేమగా మిమ్మల్ని మనం ఇక్కడ స్వాగతిస్తున్నామండి. నేను ఆర్జే కృతిక. మీకు ఒక ఎగ్జైటింగ్ న్యూస్ ఇవ్వాలని ఇక్కడ వచ్చాను. ఏంటంటే వన్ అండ్ ఓన్లీ తెలుగు రేడియో స్టేషన్ మన యూఏఈలో వస్తుంది, రేడియో ఖుషి అని. సో ఒక్కసారి మీరు రావాలి, మనందరినీ కలవాలి. వీఆర్ లాట్ ఎగ్జైటెడ్. సో కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు ది క్వశ్చన్, చరి గారికి మళ్ళీ తారక్ గారికి నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, మగధీర నుంచి RRR వరకు, మళ్ళీ యమదొంగ నుంచి ఇక్కడి వరకు, హౌ వాజ్ యువర్ వర్క్ షాప్? ఈ ఫిల్మ్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు హౌ వాజ్ ది వర్క్ షాప్? ప్రిపరేషన్స్ ఎలా ఉండేది? బికాస్ దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్, వెరీ డిఫరెంట్, సంథింగ్ యూనిక్. మనము బిహైండ్లో చేయాలంటే ఇట్స్ అ లిటిల్ యూనిక్. సో వాట్ వాజ్ ద ప్రిపరేషన్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ వర్క్ షాప్? ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు నో.
See, for me it was my first workshop ever. Never been in a workshop while being a part of a movie. మాకేంటంటే ఇది, we did not have, Komuram Bheem character does not have any virtual references as films. అల్లూరి సీతారామరాజు గారిదేమో ఒక రెఫరెన్స్ ఉంది, కృష్ణ గారు చేసినటువంటి అల్లూరి సీతారామరాజు క్యారెక్టర్ మూవీ ఉంది, తాతగారు చేసేది ఇవి ఉన్నాయి. But the best part about RRR is it's completely fictitious. If you paid attention to what Rajamouli, whenever he gave his look out of his actors, he always said, "My Bheem, my Rama Rao Jr." He said, "My Sita." So it's got nothing to do with what you know about them. It is about what you don't know about them and what his idea of showing the world of his characters, how he wants to portray them. So Marco, he didn't fill us up with a lot of information. He gave us information what we need as actors to play his characters. So he gave us details of Bheem, Yala Tintad, how does he eat? Because Bheem, Bheem character is he's huge. He's massive. So how would he eat? What speed would he eat? How would he sit down? Because he's a tribal. How would he sit down? How would he walk? How would he drink his water? How will he talk to a very learned man? So this was the detailing which we were given as actors, which really helped us. Like in every which way. When he gave us the scene, when we have all these already filled in my mind, in your mind, you automatically, as an actor, you're driven towards what the director needs. So it was very interesting. It was my first workshop ever.
రైట్. చరి గారు, మీకు ఎలా ఉండేది వర్క్షాప్? హౌ వాజ్ యువర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్?
Mike again.
Hi. No, I don't want to give my perspective. Both of us have traveled in the same journey together, so it's almost the same. But always, every person evolves a lot every year, and likewise, Rajamouli got evolved. As he's evolving, he's helped us also evolve into 10x. So that's all I can say. Thanks to him that we all have evolved so much. But otherwise, whatever Tarak has said, exactly that was my journey through RRR.
వెరీ నైస్ వెరీ నైస్ సార్ మీకు నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే ఆలియా భట్ గారిని మనము వీ హవ్ సీన్ ఇన్ అ వెరీ సాఫ్ట్ క్యారెక్టర్ అన్నమాట లైక్ స్టూడెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇయర్ హంపి శర్మకి లైక్ సాఫ్ట్ క్యారెక్టర్ బబ్లీ అమ్మాయి లాగా ఇక్కడ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ లిటిల్ డిఫరెంట్. హౌ డిడ్ యూ ఇమాజిన్ అపార్ట్ గంగూబాయ్, హౌ డిడ్ యూ ఇమాజిన్ ఆలియా భట్ ఇన్ దిస్ క్యారెక్టర్? ఎందుకు అనిపించింది ఈ అమ్మాయి కావాలి ఈ క్యారెక్టర్కి?
I mean, when I see Alia Bhatt, externally she looks like a very fragile, very soft girl. But I don't know how you see it, but when I see her, I feel like inside that softness, inside that fragility, there is a very strong-willed character. That's how I feel when I look at Alia. Not talking about the character she played. When I look at her, that's what I feel. So that's exactly what I wanted for my Sita. She should look very soft, very fragile, but she should be strong enough to rein in these two forces of water and fire. Now, that's how I envisioned, and that's why she was there in the film.
ఓకే, వన్ లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఫర్ తారక్ గారు. మీరిద్దరు చాలా మంచి ఫ్రెండ్స్, చెర్రీ గారు మీరిద్దరు చాలా చాలా మంచి ఫ్రెండ్స్. మనం అందరూ ఎగ్జైటెడ్గా ఉన్నాము. మీ ఇద్దరు గురించి ఒక్క చిన్న సీక్రెట్ కానీ ఒక్క చిన్న మెమొరీ మన దగ్గర షేర్ చేసుకుంటే ఐఎమ్ లాట్ ఎగ్జైటెడ్ టు నో బిహైండ్ ద స్క్రీన్స్ ఒక చిన్న మెమొరీ.
Memory about what?
About a friendship.
మీరిద్దరు
ఏమంటే మేమిద్దరం ఎవరికి ప్రపంచంకి తెలియకుండా హ్యాపీగా సైలెంట్గా గుడ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్గా ఉన్నాం, ఎవరికి తెలియకుండా. ఈ మనిషి వల్ల పూర్తిగా బయటపడిపోయింది అది. సో మై మెమరీ ఆర్ ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ విత్ Charan, I would like to keep it very personal. It's very personal to me. So sharing out memories and ivi are they're not memories anymore.
I think what we do together, it better be personal.
Absolutely.
అయితే చాయ్ కాఫీలు తాగుతారు కదా,
You guys can handle it.
చాయ్ కాఫీలు తాగుతారు కదా,
ఏంటి
చాయ్లో కాఫీలు తాగుతారు కదా,
తాగుతాం.
కూర్చొని సిట్టింగ్
తాగుతాం.
you'll sit and talk. All those things, very very nice, and all the very best. We're excited to watch.
Thank you. We'll go into, I think I can take a few more questions. Please go on. Yeah, sure.
வணக்கம். 89.4 தமிழ் எஃப்எம்லேருந்து நான் ஆர்ஜே மது. என்னோட கொஸ்டின் வந்து ராஜமௌலி சாருக்கு. சார், இப்போது 2 மிகப்பெரிய ஸ்டார்ஸ் வச்சு நீங்கள் படம் எடுக்கிறீங்க. ஸோ சாதாரண விஷயம் கிடையாது. ஆலியா பட் மேமும் பெரிய ஸ்டார். நிறைய ஸ்டார்ஸ் வச்சு எடுக்கும்போது இது பீரியாடிக்கல் ஃபிலிம். நீங்கள் கதையும் காம்ப்ரமைஸ் பண்ண முடியாது, பெரிய ஸ்டார்ஸ்க்கு ஸ்க்ரீன் ஸ்பேஸும் கொடுக்கணும். ஏன்னா ஃபேன்ஸோட எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் கண்ணாப்பின்னான்னு இருக்கும் ஆஃப்டர் பாகுபலி. ஸோ ஏதாவது ஒரு சின்ன காம்ப்ரமைஸ் நீங்கள் பண்ணிங்களா? ஸ்க்ரீன் ஸ்பேஸ்க்காகவோ இல்லைனா படத்தோட கதையில் ஏதாவது ஒரு பார்ட்டை கட் பண்ணுறதோ, இந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஒரு சின்ன காம்ப்ரமைஸ் வந்து நடந்ததா இவ்வளோ பெரிய ஸ்டார்டம்னால?
இல்லைங்க, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்காது. பிகாஸ் த வே ஐ அப்ரோச் த ஃபில்ம் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். I don't look in terms of how to balance the stars, how to balance the actors. You can please sit. I don't look at the story in that way at all. I look in the terms of how interesting the story can be. Because I'm dealing with two characters, how can I make the audience empathize them equally? So that I struggle a lot to bring a balance in that aspect, but not in the aspects of equal screen space irka illaya, ivar konjam jaasti irukana avaru konjam cut pannalama, indi ivarku oru fight vechana avarku oru fight vekalama, avarku 4 punch koduthavana ivarku 4 kick kodukalama, inda madri balance ella na panna maatanga. That is not how we make a film. We make the film in a very engaging manner. In that engaging manner, if I had to cut out some space, I will cut out some space. If I had to increase some space, I have to increase that space. Ultimately, it is the story that we are slave to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, there's one in the front and then I'll come back to you. Sure. Please go on.
హాయ్ అండి, తెలుగు కమ్యూనిటీ తరపున వామ్ వెల్కమ్ టు దుబాయ్. తారక్ గారు, మీరు అంటూ ఉంటారు నాకు చాలా చనువు ఎక్కువ రాజమౌళి గారితో అని. సో అది మీకు ప్లస్ పాయింట్ అయిందా, మైనస్ పాయింట్ అయిందా ఈ సినిమాకి?
ఈ సినిమాకి అండి మైనస్ పాయింట్ అనుకోవాలండి కొంచెం.
అయ్యో,
అంటే మరీ కనికరం లేకుండా, especially that episode for which we shot for 65 nights.
Exactly.
We started shooting for that episode in summer, Then came Corona. Then we had a lockdown. And he has this habit of starting of where he, starting from where he stopped. So he started with that episode and it was peak winters.
Yeah.
He drenched me in water at 4 a.m. in the morning. I was shivering.
Okay.
And he was the fire, right? He was pretty happy. Not in summer, but.
సో ఒక విధంగా చను మీకు మైనస్ పాయింట్ అయిందా?
ఈ ఒక్క దగ్గర మైనస్ పాయింట్ ఉంది. అదే ఆ ఎపిసోడ్ ఒక్క దగ్గర. బట్ ఇట్స్ ఆల్వేస్ అ ప్లస్ పాయింట్. ఆ చను ఉండడం వల్ల I've grown as an actor, and I always say this: my growth as an actor today is because of him.
Okay.
It's what he made me realize. మన పొటెన్షియల్ మనకి తెలియదు అంటాం కదా. పొటెన్షియల్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ విచ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్. సో బేసికలీ he pushed me to satisfy myself as an actor.
Oh, great.
And not worry about the results and box office performances of a movie.
Yeah.
You're an actor, you do your job perfectly.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you. And
one shot. Ram Charan garu, తారక్ ఎప్పుడు అంటూ ఉంటారు రాజమౌళి ఈజ్ లైక్ ఏ మాన్స్టర్ అని. సో మీరు మగధీర చేశారు, ఆల్రెడీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అయిపోయింది. ఆ మాన్స్టర్స్ ఏమన్నా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిందా ఆర్ఆర్ఆర్కి? ఆయన కోట ఏమన్నా పెంచేశారా ఆ మాన్స్టర్? ఇది మీరే చెప్పాలి అది.
అబ్సల్యూట్లీ అండి. మగధీర కలెక్షన్స్ బాహుబలి కలెక్షన్స్ మీరు చూశారు. సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఆ మాన్స్టర్ ఇంక్రీజే అయింది. అండ్ ఐ ఆల్వేస్ సే ఐఎమ్ బెటర్ when I work with monsters or work under pressure. And the amount of good pressure he puts on actors, it drives us to wake up and do and get inspired as an actor.
And after this also you're going to monsters again, right?
Come
Sukumar,
again?
Shankar, all the rest of the movies are also monsters coming up.
We'll talk in the next Expo.
Thanks
So
for the
I'll take
answer.
one more question. I'm really running out of time. Yeah, please, you are up there.
ముందుగా ముగ్గురికి కృతజ్ఞతలు సార్, మాకు ఇలాంటి సినిమా తీసుకురావడానికి. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ముగ్గురు రావడం ఇట్స్ అ వెరీ గ్రేట్ థింగ్. విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ద క్వశ్చన్ సార్, రాజమౌళి సార్, దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్ ఫర్ యూ. సో there are many big films which are made all around the world, right? And especially when it comes to a Telugu film being made, with respect to the constraints of the budget and the technology and the time that you have, what you pulled off is a great thing during coronavirus. I mean, thanks a lot for doing this. So what I wanted to understand from you was, with respect to the technology we use, the fact that we are in Expo. So with respect to the technology you use and the technology that is used in the Western countries, how different are we? Or like, how, does that affect the amount of time that it's taking for the film to be produced and coming to the theaters at the end of the day?
I mean, that's a big question to answer. It will become a master class, I think, instead of being a press meet. The work culture is quite different from the Western world to our Indian industry. Simply put, Western industries tend to work with less number of people, with less number of days, in greater output, because for them that is more money. The human resources cost more. So the way they program their whole thing is like they tend to squeeze the film into a lesser number of days. The way Indians work, for every small work we employ many number of people because we are a bigger populous country. We need to employ more people, so even for a small work, more number of people come. Actually, what happens is with lesser number of people, you can get the work faster. Contrary to the belief that more number of people get the work faster, more number of people tend to make the work slower. But that is how it's traditionally been, not just the film industry. Traditionally, that's how we have been working. So that's just the working style. I'm not saying one is better, one is not so better.
Okay.
And technology-wise, obviously we get all the technology from the West, and they employ it earlier. They get better at the technology first, and we are always some 5-6 years behind. But what we do is, what we have a fantastic word in India called jugaad, right? Right? We find out things that Westerners can't even think of. Because the necessity is mother of invention.
Absolutely.
Just as an example, I can tell you, again, I'm coming to the same sequence again. The interval sequence where it had number of numerous animals in between. To exactly shoot it in a Western way would cost me like into millions of dollars to get the equipment, to shoot it, to be precise.
Sure.
But we went in a completely different way. We employed local technology geeks. We employed small LED lights to trace the paths of the animals.
Wow.
And we used RC cars in the place of animals to move them.
So
West would do in a completely different way, but we did in a completely different way.
Absolutely.
Of course, it still cost us a lot of money, but the same money would have cost 10x if it was a Western way of working. So I think as an example that will
makes
answer
a lot
your
of
question.
sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
So, with respect to the actors, I have only one last question, please.
Yeah, yeah.
So both of you are coming together, right? At any point of time while you're dubbing for different languages, did you feel uncomfortable, or did you feel like your syncing wasn't in place or anything like that, or were you really comfortable with it? Or was it so easy?
Yeah, because see, it was his intention that we speak in the languages the film is being released in, because the emotion is stronger when it's coming from the actor. I mean, all due regards to dubbing artists who have done great jobs, phenomenal jobs, but well, he felt that it's nice if we can communicate as actors in those respective languages. And it was just fun, you know, it in a way it made us learn the language, you know, become better in it a little more. We had people to help us while we were dubbing for it. And yeah, you know, all these languages are not alienated to us, you know. Telugu is there, obviously, and Tamil. We know Tamil because the film industry, the Telugu film industry migrated from Chennai to Hyderabad, and we have a lot of Tamil speaking technicians. And Kannada, yes, because my mom was she's a Kannadiga, so Kannada was easier for me. And Hindi, because we come from Hyderabad, you know, born and brought up in Hyderabad. And Hindi is not an alienated language. So it was really good, you know, when, you know, we were happy that we could give our emotions out in that, you know, in that respective language.
Except for Malayalam.
Next time.
Next time. So thanks a lot for all the questions. Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys. Thanks a lot for being here. And of course, we know that's one man who has made one Echa a superstar, a Fly a superstar, and 550 crore movie, I think, first day. Done. So let's all book our tickets in advance. From 25th, it's going to be showing in all the theaters near you, and we get to watch it in Dolby Vision as well.
Yeah,
so.
We get to, hello. Yeah. One thing we are very happy to announce is that we get to enjoy RRR in RRR in many ways. You can enjoy it in IMAX. You 3D. Can enjoy it in Dolby Vision. You can enjoy it in 3D.
3D!
Oh. Yes, and usually I don't go for 3D, but why I went to 3D for this time is that it brings the actors closer to the audiences and the emotion is that much more.